I now recognize Representative Abigail Spanberger of Virginia, who's the Vice Chair of the Subcommittee on Europe, Energy and Environment and Cyber, for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. Secretary, thank you for being with us today. My first question is specific to Afghan allies. And for those of us who have been working directly with people on the ground trying to get folks out, as I know you have, it's been a really challenging time. And I think one of the lessons here, one of the takeaways for me, is that we must always plan for the worst case scenario, because I think we saw a confluence of worst case scenarios come to fruition. So on that end, I would note that in your opening remarks, you stated that we expect the Taliban to ensure freedom of travel, make good on its CT commitments, uphold the basic rights of the Afghan people, including women, girls, minorities, and name a broadly representative permanent government. But I have also seen videos of women and girls being beaten by the Taliban. I know there have been night letters that have been posted on doors marking people for interrogation or assassination. I have received photos and written testimonies of some of the beatings and targetings that have occurred, and murders and beatings have been documented against those who have helped the United States. And so, sir, I would begin by asking, have you seen any of these videos? Have they made their way to you as well?
Yes, I've seen videos, I've seen reports, I've read news accounts. Yes, and these incidents are deeply, deeply disturbing. So
looking towards the future, recognizing that perhaps we should here plan for the absolute worst case scenario, is the department talking through what the contingencies are in the scenario in which the Taliban does not do the things that you stated are our expectations and hopes?
In short, yes.
Okay. And thank you for that. And I also just want to thank every person on the ground, every person who's been so helpful. I represent many, many in the veterans community who have focused on exclusively on ensuring that those who helped keep them alive and those who work side by side with them would have a chance at a better life in the future. And so I'm grateful for their service and their work. I recently sent a letter to you, sir, focused on border crossings. And I know there's been some progress towards working with border nations about the possibility of them opening the borders. Could you just briefly comment on what the status is related to the ability to exfiltrate people or allow people to cross at borders?
Yes, thank you. And I saw the letter, and I thank you for it. We've been working with a number of countries, including Pakistan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, to ensure that ideally their borders will remain open overall, but certainly that they would remain open to American citizens, green card holders, visa holders who seek to leave and who are assisting in leaving. And we have basic agreements with all three countries that that'll be the case. And so the work now is to be able to see people start, as we saw last week with the flights that left Kabul for Qatar, that start to happen.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Secretary. And please, if any of that changes, I ask that you keep us apprised so that we can be helpful as possible. And last week I visited Fort Pickett, which is in my district, to see Operations Allies Welcome firsthand. And I saw thousands of Afghan children, women, and men who made it out of Afghanistan. It's a testament to a whole-of-government approach, public servants, U.S. service members, NGO workers, and volunteers standing up an incredible effort on very, very short notice. On behalf of the communities that I represent, I would just want to reiterate the importance of really ensuring that the interagency team engages and communicates with local government. I was very happy to learn about the health screenings on the ground and the initiation of English language classes that have begun on site. I hope that continues. But I am curious, how long do you anticipate Operations Ally Welcome will continue to utilize military installations across the United States, including the one that's in my district?
Well, thank you, and I'm really grateful for that support, the engagement of the community. It makes all the difference, and I want to make sure too, like you, that we have the right connectivity, that we're talking and coordinating with the local community. We have to make sure that we have the ability to put people into the resettlement process with resettlement agencies across the United States. We're determined to move them as expeditiously as possible. Let me come back to you with a better time frame, because we also have to do it mindful of making sure we complete any security checks that are necessary.
And I do appreciate the robust security provisions that I witnessed when I was visiting. I have run out of time, though I have many more questions. I appreciate your time, Mr. Secretary. I yield back.